Hey guys, this is Eugene Irvin, and we're down at McMurdo Station right here with some satellite imagery on Google Earth. And I want to let you know that it's so full of anomalies that it's world shattering for you. And I understand this, but you're going to see several different humanoid shapes. Some of them are quite large, and we'll do a time lapse for you and take it back and let you get a good look at some things from the ancient past. And look at this guy, gray, standing there. See him? Right in front of the T-shaped megalith that we see down in Göbekli Tepe as well. Wow, what's that all about? Let's do a quick 3D for you. You see the T-shape there. Okay, we can get a good look at him. I know it's a bit odd. It's quite frankly something that'll really make you stop and think, but why don't you just give it a second and let's do a time lapse of the area here, because this is even more revealing, and it's uh, it's pretty interesting, guys. What we see is the last refuge of these smaller giants, which are huge to us, become the much larger giants, which, according to the Book of Watchers, is 3,000 cubits or 4,500 feet in the modern day. So think about that, and it's tough to think about, but it's definitely a factor with what we're looking at in so many different instances. In fact, so one of the self-qualifying factors that we do see from several of the appendages that are found associated with these giants is the fact that they'll have 6 fingers and 6 toes. That's actually found in 2 Samuel, I believe, in the Bible. And wow, isn't that interesting to think that we have this historical reference in some of these ancient texts? Many of them are apocryphal, and they were taken out of the Bible kind of purposely to hide this from us. And it's nice to know that they're there. And again, we're looking at things that are very much in alignment with what we see in Göbekli Tepe and other sites. And it's an ancient builder race. It is, megalithic. There are things out here which we haven't seen, and quite frankly are so amazing, so in your face with this, that it's hard to know what to do with it at first, ladies and gentlemen. I understand this. I mean, we're looking at humanoid beings of all different variants and shapes and sizes when it relates to this, and it's a little disturbing, isn't it? And so we need to be as adult about this as possible. And let's take a look at a temple that's become visible within the last couple of days, really. If I can remember where it is, excuse me there. But we have so much. We have temple entrances. We have statues. We have, things that just, look at that. I certainly did not mean to do that. Nope, get off of there. Where is this thing? We're looking for a temple that has this awesome entrance. There's somebody standing out front, and it looks to me as if it's a bone that's like a passageway into this cliffside. A big, huge bone, actually. There it is. So let's take a look at that right here, kind of right there. Guys, don't let it scare you. We do have this here. Very interesting to see. Why that keeps coming on. We do see that there? There's a road and a tunnel system there. You see that? What is that? And why has this not been disclosed? And look at the faces on it, and so on. And so things are melting. Things are becoming, more visible And there's a lot to be said about this. Some of these creatures are so large that it's difficult to wrap your mind. You really have to back out to try to get a good look at them and say, "Oh my goodness, is that for real?" I mean, you're looking at the giant head right here. The body's all down through here. There's another one right here. You know, the eyes busted out there with a little lake in it, guys. That's the scope of what we're looking with. And there's even another one here, younger. See him? This is real, guys. This is Antarctica, and so it's time for us to start getting our heads around this. They're trying to release this. I'm really on the front line of this right now, releasing it, guys. Um, Very much so, and it's a weird place to be. I've had my fair share of disclosure, just what I've done on social media, you know, documents that people haven't seen before, and all of this, that, and the other. Oh my goodness, what in the world? Now, guys, I haven't seen this. Do you see that? Look at it. Look at this thawing out. Oh my God. Guys, this is a temple, multi-layered. You know, the guys who went down to McMurdo didn't build this. Look at that. What in the world is that? Holy shit, man. And it's easy to make mistakes doing this. You know, you want to turn over every rock. And so I want to be clear about what I just said, because I could be wrong about that. It looks like pillars that are frozen, that are becoming unfrozen, that we haven't seen. And it looks to be, you know, kind of multi-leveled. And so I'll have to check that. And, you know, balancing this stuff against the mainstream stuff that's out there, forget about it. What, do you guys see this? Doesn't this look like it's multi-leveled there? It does, doesn't it? Look, up here is like look at that. Good God. Unbelievable, man. God, I can't believe that, man. Oh my God. So this is very reminiscent of what we see in Göbekli Tepe. And in fact, you know, they haven't disclosed the fact, and some of the leading researchers may just have completely overlooked it because it's difficult to understand the scale. But when we put it into the context of what we hear from places like the Book of Watchers and the Book of Enoch and others, 3,000 cubits as a rule of thumb is right in alignment with the size of many of these creatures that we found. And that in and of itself speaks volumes. And I've got to tell you, people that try to unsubstantiate these ancient writings need to go look at Qumran from an aerial and think about, and this is where they found the caves in Qumran is what I'm talking about. Guys, you can see the giant steps. You can see the genetic mutation in some of the fossilized creatures that are there. And this is all written about. And some of this, I mean, there are remnants of giants at Qumran where these texts were found. And I've already made some videos about that. I've put it out there, but, you know, people just aren't ready any more than they are ready to see those huge giants. Or, you know, guys, let's go back and let's end it here. Because this is where we started. And I really just intended to do a short, quick video for you, but this is so much. What are we looking at, guys? Okay, let me get this, guys. The thing, he's really tall, okay, but it's a humanoid shape. We've got the Göbekli thing. Are we going to deny what we're looking at to ourselves? Because it's a foolhardy thing to do. And you know, you can kind of see why they haven't told people about this. It would be a lot easier if we had been, you know, taught this from our early age and it was all that we knew. But at this point, the ramifications of this are astounding, and there's a whole component to the inner earth related to this that people just don't know about. I mean, we've heard about it and we heard different stories about it, but guys, it's a factor now, and we even have some beings that look to be alive in this area, and I've made a video about that too. It's just, you have to keep your sense of humor about this, because if you don't laugh it off, you know, you're not going to make it, because it's just too much. And so the caliber of what I'm coming with here is really high, and you know, there's skulls all over the place down here. Okay, there really is. And Look at that. Look at that very distinctive shape. For all we know, they're shipping this stuff out of here and moving it down the road. Or, they're saying that it's closed right now, but I see a head right there. I see a creature right there, a being, a gray, a big gray. Okay, that's what I see. And this is not unheard of. And in fact, if we really take a look at this giant, okay, let's do that. You can see that makeup right here. You can see it in that skull, even though that eye's bashed out. And we do see a lot of blunt force trauma, but you can see it here in the head of the younger one. Guys, that's for real. This is live Google Earth at McMurdo Station in Antarctica. I'm not trying to profit off this. It would be great to be able to come out and talk about this as the discoverer, but the truth is, I'm just the guy who's released this and found it, and I remote viewed this area, and it came through a summoning, really. Something told me to go look here as a result of some other things that I was working on at Mount Shasta and other places. We see these giants everywhere, all over the earth, in the context of a cataclysmic event, including a flood that occurred. And again, there's instances, there's tens and hundreds of them piled upon one another, and they are all varying shapes and sizes. And it really looks like some of them had a gestation period of unknown duration that would then have large litters of children that had a broad genetic variance within each one of those litters. And that's going to be my kind of working model as I go forward. And, people who look at me from a, real, just kind of a glance, don't have any idea of my secret project related history or what I've been involved in. But I mean, let's face it, we're talking about some of the largest disclosures on Earth that have ever happened. And I feel pretty comfortable in it, like I said, because I've been involved with things already that the public has, been confronted with and still not been able to see all the way. But there's some creatures down here. We pulled them out with the 3D feature. You can see that there's some elements here that are going to try to mask that entranceway. The reason why is because there's stuff down there that's alive, guys. They're alive. And this is what disclosure looks like today. And I hope that we can pick this up and run with it. I see a lot of you guys out there doing your own little radio shows and stuff, and I commend you for doing it, breaking the public in for what's to come. Don't be afraid of this. Don't be afraid of me because of what you think I've been involved with. And let's get an example real quick. If you really want to get down here and count these, you'll see that there's 6, and there's innumerable other instances of that. And we're looking at the 6 fingers, 6 toes, and that's a huge leg, isn't it? And that's a foot. It's completely consistent with the apocryphal narratives that we find in those books of Enoch, the Watchers again. And wow, that is just so fascinating. So there you have a quick little 2 cents from me, guys. I mean, it's surreal. Who are you? Have you made it this far into the video? And what are you doing to be proactive about the dissemination of this information for your children, for yourselves? And let's get back into that 6 fingers, 6 toes, guys. This is a tool area. And I've shown this in a couple of other videos, but guys, this is work stone. And it really looks like a hand that's there. I'm not sure about that, but we do see the tools. I'll leave it at the tools for now. And, no doubt that this is work stone. And those aren't the best examples, but this is what you find when a flint knapper is in the area. You're going to see some that were worked a certain way, and then the best ones will make the cut, and those are them. Yeah. I mean, picture perfect. I used to have a buddy, I wouldn't even recognize this if I didn't have a buddy who made me one of these that was almost identical to this, but much smaller. You can see that this thing is huge. And imagine a sword for something that's, almost a mile tall. And you'll begin to get a scope of, what this flood was all about, what it meant, and humble yourself to the fact that there's these ancient writings that talk about this, and throw it out the window what you think you knew, because these were the things that were kept from you. And when I hear some of these guys say, oh, well, our history was kept from you, don't you forget that part of what was kept from you was these apocryphal books, Enoch, the Book of Giants, the Book of Watchers, and contextualize that with yourself and say, well, maybe there's something here and that I should look at, because I can assure you that there is. And so take a look at that tunnel right there. Bink. Maybe I'll put a URL associated with what's in there It's a 3D image that'll show. It's the abominable snow creature, you guys. And I hope you're still with me because this is a lot better than what's on your TV tonight. And to think that this place, McMurdo, has been in operation since December of 1955. You know, I've got documents from CIA, Office of Naval Intelligence, and a whole slew of other stuff for you guys when you're ready for it. That's where I'll get in, where I fit in. I can help break that stuff down. And, you know, it's coming from an official source, in an official capacity of special access and being able to bring you this information in a way that is, you know, raw but unequivocal, of a caliber that's, quite frankly, above and beyond what I've seen out of anybody else. And it's an honor and a privilege to be tasked with this and bring it to you. So I'm going to leave it right there. I do love you guys, and I hope to talk to you soon. Okay, adios.